Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new, thank you for joining, and you are going to be so welcome here. And if you're returning to have a bit more, then thank you ever so much for coming back. I really appreciate all of the people that watch my videos. So don't forget to give this one a big thumbs up, whether you like it or not. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'll just expect you to do it, so I will be checking next time. This week I'm going to be doing a little DIY. Now this was requested by quite a few people after a video I did a little while ago about a Barry M makeup haul, and I mentioned that some of the nail varnishes I got weren't quite the colours that I would wear, but that I could probably use them for making dragon's eyes. And a few people were actually listening and said, what are these dragon's eyes all about? So I thought I would do a video to show you exactly what these dragon's eyes are all about. Fair disclosure, I completely robbed this idea of a lovely lady called Yvonne Williams, and I will link her channel. Excuse me. I watched her do this quite some time ago, and I just thought, you know what, I want to be able to do that. And so my version is sort of like a bargain basement, let's have a stab at it version, and hers is like, and this is how the professionals do it. But if you would like to see how I make that beautiful, I think, dragon's eye that's in the thumbnail, then please just keep on watching. So here we have one of the very first dragon eyes that I ever made, and excuse my phone pinging, and as you can see it's sort of like reddish goldish, and it's got two little spiky horn things here and some, well, they're beads actually, but they're supposed to be parts of the dragon's skin, and it's, yeah, one of the first ones I ever did. And then this one here, this is not so much a dragon as a unicorn eye, and you can see it's got little diamonds and little eyelashes, and it's got some sort of blues and different colours in it as well, and some pinks and silvers and different sort of rub colours around it. So the first thing that you're going to need if you want to do this is some of these, and they're glass, what do you call them, beads. They're not really cabochons because they're all different shapes and sizes. They're very cheap, and you get them for, you know, flower arranging, things like that. When I watched Yvonne Williams, who I will link in the description, do her Eye of Sauron dragon's eye tutorial, which is where I got the idea for doing this, or basically where I copied it from. She has a beautiful big perfectly circular proper glass cabochon that she does hers on, but then she sells hers and she's professional, so I just wanted to have a go. So I got a bunch of these. How many did I get? I don't know, loads, must be 50, 100, something like that, and they come in a bag. I think you get them on Amazon, and you can just basically find out which sort of shape you want to do, more round or more ovally or ellipsy or whatever you like. So we'll take those away, put them back in the bag. I've got some, well, quite a few really, nail varnishes, and everybody's got a few nail varnishes kicking about. The main one you're going to need is a black one, and for the sort of dragony coloured gold red ones, obviously some gold and some red, but you can use pretty much any colours that you've got. So the first thing to do is, here's one I prepared earlier. It's, you get your piece of glass, I'm going to call it a cabochon even though it isn't, and turn it upside down and put a blob of nail varnish in the centre, which is going to be the pupil of the eye. And then before it dries, you're going to want to feather it out a bit. So I use some tools that I got in a nail kit. So perfectly ordinary surgical instruments, no, perfectly ordinary nail kit, and in here you get all sorts of useful bits and bobs, but you do get this very sharp, pointy, I mean you could use like a massive needle or a tiny awl or anything really, so that you can scrape away and make this sort of like feathery shape on your eye. The next thing, once you've got it how you want it, and these things obviously are completely individual to how a person wants to do them, but once you've got it how you want it, you're going to want to put some around the edge as well. So why don't we do a bit of that together? So I'll take the black, if I can open it, and just put a little bit around the edge, and then you just take your pointed article and just scrape it in like this. And then you can just, if you get lots of varnish on it, you just scrape it off on a bit of paper or a bit of tissue. As you can probably see, I've put a bit too much on here. But you get the general gist. So you go all the way around the edge, doing that, and then you put that to one side and let it dry. So once you've gone round the edge, let's pretend that I have feathered the edge of this one, and you want to start off with your colours. So let's say we're going to start off with a bit of red. Excuse me, coughing. Had my vaccination for COVID this week, so it's probably that. So putting a bit of red around the edge, and then again scraping it, making a lovely feathery pattern. And if you do it against a white background like this, then you can always turn it over and hold it against the what? That's not very good, is it? Hold it against the white and you can see how you're getting on. You will get it all over your fingers, but that's just par for the course really. So let's do some on the other side. And you do the red and then you let that dry, and then you come back and you might do some of the orangey colour. The gold is really the one that makes it the most like a dragon eye, I always think. And here's one that I prepared earlier, and as you can see, it's got the gold behind it, and you can then start putting darker colours behind all the different colours that you want to have there. So on this one, let's put some blue behind. Oh yeah, that looks pretty. That looks really pretty. And then we'll put a little bit more in this gap. You can keep doing it and doing it. I highly recommend you go and watch Yvonne's video, because it really does show you how long it takes when you do it properly. But I'm just going to leave that there. Put a little bit more blue and leave it to dry. Right, while the eye is drying, we'll prepare the actual face or eye socket it's going to go into. And I've got here some lovely Sculpting oven bake clay. I mean, you can use non-oven baked clay, it just takes bloody forever. And I am one of the most impatient people. When I want to do something, I want to do it like there and then. So no good me waiting around for air dry clay. And we just cut off a little bit. Nice red clay. So you don't have to waste your time painting it. And don't let it dry out. Once you've cut a bit off, wrap it back up and put it away in a plastic bag. And just don't let it dry out. I've got this little special mat here and a roller, but my piece of resistance is, I read somewhere that because clay can get very sticky, obviously, if you dust your roller with corn flour and obviously a handy fan brush that has found its way over from my makeup persona into my crafting persona, it will stop it sticking so much. So let's roll it out. And you know, it doesn't have to be like perfectly perfect, because it's supposed to be part of something that's alive, a dragon. It's a representation of that, so it doesn't like have to be a perfect shape, which is good because this isn't. So I'm going to put it that way round. Yep, put that over there. And then what we do is, and then this one I am going to use some cutters on. Like so. Get this one back where you can see it. There we go. And then I'm going to put the eye where I want it to be, and then take this outside bit and put it round. And as I said at the beginning, you know, these cabochons aren't perfect shapes, so they're not perfectly round, so you will need to just sort of massage your clay to fit, squidge it in. And of course, if you use little tools like this, it's all to the good, because I'm just going to make a tear duct here, because it means that yeah, you're adding to the decorative nature of what you're doing. Now it does look a tiny bit on the stark side, so we take this and cut that there, and cut that there, and then just sort of finagle it like that, and then again like that, and again squidge it in here, squidge it in here. I bet you're really impressed I know all these technical squidging terms. And so it's starting to look a bit more like, you know, something you would recognise as an eye, hopefully. Some of these little tools have all sorts of interesting shapes and pointy things and useful stuff, and I'm sure you can pick up these nail kits for like nothing on eBay or somewhere, or even Amazon for not very much money. So we're just gonna, when you think dragon, you just sort of think dinosaur, or if you're not as old as me and familiar with dinosaurs, Komodo dragons, crocodiles, alligators, things that have really quite distinctive skin, lovely rough patterned skin. So we're just going to make lots of patterns in the skin. And then also what we're going to do is make some little horn type affairs. So I'm going to give him 2 or 3. Yep, there we go. And then take a pen and go like that. And then it just so happens that I have some other of that unicorn clay left over. You get some unicorn clay and you shape it into like a teardrop shape, and by doing this it's like you're rolling it but only at one end, and then chop it off like that, give it a bit of a, try and get it round, and then hopefully it will, oh, I was trying just to do it by eye. That's not very good, is it? Yeah, so we make 2 more small ones. I don't know if those are going to be big enough holes though. Let's see if we can. There. Right. Let's see if it wants to come up. Hey, there we go, not too bad. I need to put a bit more red around the back of this one, so I can see it needs a bit there. Right, so there's that, and I'm just going to go and get a few more supplies and I'll be right back. Right, so I'm back, having gone to get all the bits of supplies that I forgot to bring with me the first time. And what we're going to do is I'm going to make some more little circles out of this spare piece of unicorn clay, and then I'm going to show you some other good tricks. I've got some little beads, so I'm putting them in sideways so that they don't look quite so much like beads. And then I shall take my pokey thing again. Actually, that's not as good, is it? Let's take this. Just to give it some semblance of texture. Some reference to skin. I do believe they say that dinosaurs had very colourful skin, so that's nice. I've also got, let's just put these away before I lose them completely. I've also got these rather nice gold ones, so let's pour some of these out. And then we'll put some of these around the edges. Well, I have just the thing. A couple of Christmases ago, I was shopping for, what was I shopping for? Crystallized ginger, I think. And I was in the baking aisle and I discovered edible glitter. Yeah, I know. And this is where the little fan brush comes in again. There's that. Whoops, told you I'd get it everywhere. And I'm just going to do a little bit more and then I will come back and we'll catch up. Right, I'm going to go and put it in the oven now. It goes in at English gas mark 130 degrees, which is quite low. I I don't know what gas mark that is actually off the top of my head, and it goes in for 15 to 30 minutes. And what I usually do is like make it a little basket out of silver foil and put it in on that. So we'll just go and do that, and I'll try and stop adding more and more and more pieces, and I'll be back soon. Right, so it's about half an hour later. Our lovely dragon's eye has had 15 minutes in the oven and 15 minutes to cool down as well. And I have got here some Sculpting gloss glaze. There we go, Sculpting gloss glaze. You can see it there, which I got on Amazon, of course. And I'm gonna paint it on just to give it a bit of a glaze and to make sure that all the things that are supposed to be stuck on are stuck on. And I think that I am fairly thrilled actually, because I didn't know exactly how this was going to turn out when I started making it, as with most of the things I do, and I think it's turned out pretty darn nice, I have to say. And if you are inspired to make your own, I'm even more happy. If all it's inspired you to do is go back and watch Game of Thrones again or Lord of the Rings again, then I think that's pretty cool too. I know there's a lot of you out there that are big dragon fans, so I really hope that you've enjoyed watching me arse about with clay and just generally have fun, really, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. If it doesn't give you joy, throw it out. If it's not fun, you're doing it wrong. So there we go, Sculpting well and truly on, and there it is. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a big thumbs up, and if you'd like to subscribe and see more of, well, not more of this, because obviously I'm not going to do any more of this on my channel. I'm going to do other things, because you've got to keep your content fresh and exciting, a bit like myself really. So please come back for more of something. Stay safe, be good to each other, and stay strange, everybody. Bye for now.